Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Futuristic can be retrospective. It can be like it was in the 17th century or like at the prehistorical time. It could be that too. What will be futurist? So I have to have his concept of what is futurist.
Jean-Paul Gaultier was like, "This is beautiful. You would like this is that." I was like, "No, I would not like that."
So we spoke about that, and we agree to make a mixing of things that are supposed to be in the future, which means technological, like clothes that should be like that, in general, and things that are a little of today.
He and Luc together is just insanity, because Jean-Paul is totally crazy and so talented and so modern, and Luc is so insane and so wonderful and so modern, and the both of them together was like madness.
As well as creating a convincing future landscape, the team worked for 11 months to design a complete world. British prosthetic makeup expert Nick Dudman, a veteran of Batman, Indiana Jones and The Empire Strikes Back, relished the task of bringing these bizarre creatures to life.
When he first introduced me to Luc Besson, the question of all the various other alien species came up, like the Mondoshawan, who were in huge, great bronze spacesuits, at which point I said, well, I've never done anything like that.
From my point of view, today, he's the most talented guy in the world for creatures.
The designs for each species were locked. He had concept artists like Mobius in France working on these for some time, and he viewed them very much as locked designs. The brief was, here is this, build me several of that.
Luc's trust in Nick was absolutely total. He was adored Nick.
The Mangalores, these sort of space thugs, were a design that came from the art department that we then mutated. The frontline ones were silicon gel heads, which at the time were very difficult to produce. The material was very new to us and very new to the industry in the way it was used. But it produced a wonderful surface and very lovely translucent, soft flesh feel. And they were radio-controlled animatronic heads. One of my crew did the lip-syncing for them. But it was all very hands-on. We weren't running computers like we would do nowadays, that kind of thing. It was quite an experiment.
Revenge is at hand.
Although Luc Besson had previously worked with several members of the crew, notably cinematographer Thierry Arbogast, composer Eric Serra, and production designer Dan Vale, it was clear that The Fifth Element would be a far more ambitious undertaking than anything they had ever worked on before.
Dan, as production designer, was responsible for all the set building, the construction of almost 99% of the film, which means not just sort of building walls, but also interfacing with special effects and visual effects.
You meet with the people involved, like for the production with visual effects, special effects, prosthetic effects, and we discuss and we see, okay, what can be done, how we can do this.
Is it morphing? Is it plastic? Is it new product? Is it mechanic or computer or,
And I will say, I can do this, and Mark will say, I can do this, and we said, okay, but maybe it's better to do this. And Neil or Nick Dudman will say, but maybe we can do this and this. So it's an organic work.
Finally, Luc Besson was ready to make the film.
The process took more than a year just to know if the movie was possible financially and technically.
Unfortunately, he was soon to discover that one important element was missing.
The special effect told us, we think we can do this in a year or two because we don't have the machine yet.
Well, the film had been in pre-production for some time, and then Luc set it aside for a while and did The Professional. And I think he did that in the sense of waiting for digital technology to catch up with some of his ideas on the film.
We decided to make The Professional because it was simple, quick, And it was also the first step in an English-speaking film in order to help us for the next one.
During the break, the box office success of Leon, also known as The Professional, gave Luc Besson's career the international boost it needed. And The Fifth Element rapidly began to regain momentum.
They gathered all the drawings we've produced, and that's their approach to those drawings to decide, okay, this is a great scene to be shot in the new script.
It's a huge luxury to be able to come back to work and to redo, to keep only what you like and to redo what you don't think is still good or good enough 3 years after.
They did something fantastic. They didn't need me, you know. I brought the ideas, and after that was up to them.
The miniature builds following Mézière's work, and a really good miniature team, finishing up the buildings and decorating them, and all the fun stuff like the signage and the little gadgets and the weird things that you see in any city, fire escapes and odd lights that mean nothing. And
when I was invited to Pinewood Studios, you know, it was for this scene, and I saw exactly my drawings. I was working inside my drawings, you know, huge drawings. It was fantastic, really.
Before production could begin, another important element would need to be found.
I've met Bruce a few years ago, and we talk about the script, and I do The Professional, and then I come back. So when I was ready, you know, at the end the script was ready, the money was here, so then I went to see Bruce.
Normally, Hollywood film stars are reluctant to commit themselves to a movie, but with superstar Bruce Willis, things move much faster.
I came in New York, I gave him the script, I went shopping for 2 hours, I come back 2 hours later, he said, it's great, I do it.
I like to do films that I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to succeed in, so there's always that risk of failure.
Luc Besson's film was for him, I think, first a funny experience for him, and second, a good way to manage his career.
He wanted very much to work with someone as passionately, artistically literate as Luc.
He's a great storyteller, and there are not many guys like that around. So
Bruce and me, we played since the beginning, and it was a very honest relationship, lots of talk.
What's up, baby? What are you doing?
He came to work and he worked brilliantly every day. He was great to work with. Great fun.
it is a blast. I mean, and it's one of the reasons that I still enjoy acting is because it's each time it's a new thing and it's a new challenge, and you get to wear new clothes and you get to walk in a different time and walk a different way, and that's a thing I think that keeps it interesting for me.
Major Dallas, you've been selected for a mission of the utmost importance.
What mission?
Save the world.
Because I'm on the camera, sometimes the actors are very close to me. You know, if I make a shot like this, the actor is like 2 feet from me. So during the take, sometimes I talk a lot and I push them. Stay down here, stay here, breathe.
It's actually a much more immediate style of acting. Most of the time you've got to do a take, stop, turn the camera off, get out of in this case, a flying cab, go and talk to the guy and say, how was that? Is that what you wanted? And
Gary knows me, so it was easy, but Bruce and Ian was a little, disturbed by that. But we talk about that, and they love it after, in fact.
With Luc there, a lot of times we just kept the camera rolling, and I said, well, he says, good, do that, but now do this. And so it's a much more immediate sense of working in a much more organic way of trying new things.
It gives so much complicity, because I'm here, I'm in the middle of the game, and the more I push them, the more they want to give me also. Because an actor, if you take care of him, if you push him, if you ask him things, he's happy. No, you come closer. Come closer.
I'm still learning how to act, and I'm still learning new things all the time, and how to, different ways of telling the truth, and different ways of being dishonest on film.
They're always very excited. As soon as I ask something more, I'm excited and I want this and this, they always follow. And when they are excited, generally they are more creative and they propose more things.
I learn things about acting from every film that I do.
With Bruce on board, the rest of the cast soon fell into place. Gary Oldman, who had co-starred with Jean Reno in Luc Besson's Leon, also known as The Professional, was the director's first choice to play the evil Zorg.
Anyone care to explain?
Gary and Luke have a kind of feral energy.
One of my best friends since, a few years now, so he's my family.
And he said, will you be in The Fifth Element? And I said, yeah.
To jump in a sci-fi movie with all these things was very strange for him.
I knew it was science fiction. I knew it was futuristic. So I had an idea of what I was getting into.
The first time that he have seen the outfit of Zorg, he was very, very confused and shocked.
Oh no. And you sort of have to surrender to the world of it.
At the end of the stairs, position.
He is a weird character because he's very strong and very dark, but at the same time he has a lot of panache. But I love Zorg.
Gary Oldman, he was fabulous. I always felt sorry for him to have the ridiculous hairpiece he had, which was just so wonderful.
Are you making fun of me?
We have so much fun on the set with him.
We have a very kind of wacky relationship.
There's a sort of animal fundamental thing that goes on between the two of them.
Very physical, very slapstick.
So, what's the next shot for you? I have like 15 minutes of dailies with takes that we were obliged to cut because we were laughing. I can make a short movie about that, about just the laugh of Gary and me on the set. It was so funny.
I know.
After an extensive